Guys, I'm proud to tell you, YMAX might be the best fund out of all the YMAX funds. We're going to talk about their holdings, their dividends, and why I think it could definitely be the best by a long shot. This is Mike, the Tactical Stock Scalper. All right. Well, let me tell you first, the old man was wrong. I was wrong about YMAX. I thought, everything is going to be equally weighted. There's a lot of funds in YMAX that I just don't like because of the underlying. I am so happy to be wrong. We're going to discuss more of that in the future, or more of that in this video. Okay, one thing about these funds and why I couldn't get in to YMAX, because I didn't want to break my number one rule. My number one rule in investing, stock trading, options, anything I do, I have to like and believe in the underlying. Well, there's a lot of underlyings in the YMAX family, YMAX family, that I just don't care for. So therefore, I couldn't break my number one rule of buying YMAX, but I'm going to break it. We'll talk about that again here in a little bit. Like, for instance, Coney, Misty. I can't buy those because I don't know anything about Bitcoin, crypto. I'm not saying I don't believe in those. What I'm saying is I don't know anything about them. Therefore, if I don't know anything about them or don't believe in them, the underlines, I can't buy them. So I don't care that they're doing crazy ripping things and people are making great money. That's wonderful. But for me, I just can't buy those, right? Well, I'm breaking my rule because of a few things I learned today in my Discord server. And I need to thank Uncle Ben in my Discord server for bringing this information to light to me. What is so important to me? I found out today that YMAX, or YMAX, sorry, I keep getting confused, YMAX rotates the fund's weight and power inside of the YMAX fund. Okay, so what I mean by that is I thought initially, according to what I read or what I heard from people, and that was, I could be wrong because I didn't do my due diligence maybe, but I thought they were all going to be weighted evenly. JP Morgan, Tesla, et cetera, were all going to be 5%, give or take, right? Depending on how many funds are going to be included in the fund of funds. And so I was like, some of the funds, man, I just don't like. So I can't do it. And with them all being equally distributed and weighted, I didn't really see a benefit to it, to be honest with you. I thought, you know what? I could skip buying the ones I don't like, that I don't think are very good, and just buy the other YMAX funds, which I think that are good. My favorite, if you ever watch any of my content or talk to me in Discord servers or whatever, AMZ is my favorite YMAX fund. My second favorite is MSFO, and my third favorite is Aptly. Well, with that being said, I would just rather buy those than YMAX. I am so happy to be wrong. And before I get into the holdings and why it's so important, one lesson here, if you don't learn anything else from this content, it's great when you're wrong. And you can realize you're wrong when you're an investor, right? And change your plan. And I definitely intend on changing my plan. I'm going to be buying some YMAX as soon as I possibly can. Now, why is it important that they're rotating their funds? Well, in a down market, like for me, it's really important to know what a YMAX fund is going to do during a down market or when it has a down period. And that's why I don't get into these funds straight away. I want to see what happens with them, how they react. And I don't care if I'm missing a dividend. That's irrelevant to me. It's more important that I'm secure with it, right? So I have to watch them for a couple, 3, 4 months before I get in them to see how they react to negative periods. Well, with them being actively, and I mean actively, like they've done it, twice in a month that they've rotated the funds out based upon how the YMAX funds were acting. And I'll get more clear on that here in a second. So when it's going down, when, let's just say, Bitcoin, people don't kill me here, but let's just say Bitcoin starts dumping, right? So all the Coney and Misty and whatever else funds or Bitcoin funds are going to be dropping. They can drop those to the bottom of the weight and pull up things that are moving, like maybe bank stocks are moving or Apple's moving or whatever, right? So they can move that weight up so the share price doesn't drop as hard. And share price to me is really important. And I know to a lot of people it's not. And they buy at the highs and they just buy whenever they want. That's not my game and not what I'm into. I'm into keeping the share price as low as possible. So if I ever intend on selling it, I can. I can be up rather quickly. So with that being said, just by the nature of them doing this, that gives them downside protection. And to me, that's massive. I was sold immediately. Once I heard that from Ben, I was sold. Now, if you want to come to encouraging and positive Discord server, that's what mine is. And if that's something you like, I'll leave a link in the description. So some of their holdings, right? Like, for instance, the latest change they made, I think 3.9 is when they made this change. They put Coney at the top now with 6.58%. I have some notes here, so don't mess that up. SQY, 5.9%. NVIDIA, 5.8%. Okay? Now check out their bottom, what they moved to the bottom. Tesla. Won't that bring your heart full of joy, people, that they put Tesla at the bottom? Also at the bottom, which made my heart feel good, GUI. I do not like the way GUI has been acting. I don't own it, and I won't own it until something changes with however GUI is acting. So GUI is at the bottom. Also, Apple doesn't pay a big dividend, but I like the way the share price has been stable, whatever, follows the underlying really well. I digress. Those three are at the bottom. And the top, Coney, SQY, and NVIDIA, are now at the top. That's great, guys. I cannot overstate this, state this enough, whatever. Guys, this is really important. Now, their last dividend was around 58 cents. Some people apparently didn't like that. Like when I first saw it, before I knew how they were weighted, I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of owning this fund of funds if that's all they're really going to pay? Well, now that I know that they can give you some downside protection, they can keep their stock price stable and even rise it. Guys, I'm good with 50 cents all day long, even if it's 20 bucks. That's stability. And to us people that are going to be retiring really soon, stability is massive for us. That's a huge thing, right? We don't like these big fluctuations in dividends and share price. We like it stable. And so when you're paying 50-cent dividend and a share price is stable, I need more YMAX in my life. And I have been very happy to learn that I made a big mistake in not buying it earlier. So Uncle Ben in my Discord server, in our Discord server rather, thank you so much. If you like content, gently caress that like button, my friend. Just caress it ever so gently. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Oh, excuse me, I had a little spittle there. And join our Discord server if you like. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, out.